Hi, Vortex. Do you like the sun? I know that I complain a lot about the sun, but if we didn't have the sun, we would all die. You know? It's very important that we acknowledge this. That even when we get annoyed by things, those things are still necessary. You know that they just released genetically modified mosquitoes? That's bullshit. Mosquitoes might be annoying, but they do positive things. Everything on this earth, there's a reason for it. I hate eugenics so much. I hate it. They want to disguise it as positive science, but it's very negative science. It's playing God. That's exactly what they're doing. You know what I realized is that people that they believe in a lot of this modern stuff, you know, they're not God people. They're just not. Like even people that say they're God people, if they do certain things, they take certain medications, particularly medications they give their kids that start with a V. We're not going to say what they are because I don't want this video to get taken down, but you know what I'm talking about. People that do these sorts of things, those aren't God people. Now you can say that I don't know what I'm talking about, but I actually do. I'm not a doctor. You don't have to be a doctor. I mean, the doctors that say they're doctors, they're not doctors either. They're psychiatrists. That's not a doctor. That's a liar. And it's a piece of shit. I think you could probably tell, Vortex, that I'm a fan of Thomas Szaz. But it's just stuff that I've already thought. Like anytime that people want to say, oh, you're brainwashed or whatever the fuck, it's like, dude, nobody did that. Like, I wasn't convinced, oh, I listened to this person and they told me that this happened and I believed them. It's like, no, I did my own research, and from the evidence that I found, it went right along with what that person said. So that's the only reason. It's the same thing with the president. I figured him out just by watching reactions. And that's like where I base a lot of my opinions on. It's just the way that society reacts to certain things. It's just obvious what's right and what's wrong. It's obvious what's happening and what's not. It's obvious what they want us to believe versus what is actually occurring that is way worse than what they say is happening on TV. Now, I know that both sides spin. But there's one side in particular that spins way more. And the reason why they spin way more is because they have more stuff to lie about, okay? Now, I hate the Republican Party. At least I hate what it's turned into. But their whole philosophy ain't a lie. So it's like people that if you think you're a Democrat, you think you're like liberal or whatever the fuck, it's like you support all that secular shit that doesn't actually help society the way that they keep saying it. I mean, follow the money, man. Nobody has any time to do that. That's crazy. Because we've been in this quarantine, schmorantine nonsense for a while. And now I live in a red state, thank you, Lord. But there's no excuse. There's no excuse for people to not have anything interesting to say. I mean, I rip society a new one because it's just, I feel like there's no excuse for people to be this dumb. It's like you have a phone, right? You have a phone that allows you to be a lot smarter. And instead you choose to look up the same shit that you always look up that doesn't help you, that doesn't teach you anything. It doesn't inspire you to grow or to learn anything new. You know, when YouTube first came out, it was like tutorials and shit, you know? Here's how to fix your steering wheel, or here's how to open a beer with a lighter. Here's how to roll a joint, you know, like all these very, very informative, very important videos that anybody could put up, you know, and it was so cool. And like there was so much opportunity there. But I remember when YouTube first came out and people told me then, yeah, I should do a channel. But I was just like, no, fuck that. It's so narcissistic. And it wasn't until I started doing stand-up that I was like, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I need to tell the world who I am. But that really scares me. So I just have to walk through that fear. I ask God to help me do that. I ask God to help me put these videos up. That's why if you ain't seen me in a while, I'm just crying somewhere. I'm walking around in a state of psychosis. That's what's going on. But I don't think that's a bad thing, yo. I think people that say it's a bad thing, those are people that don't want you to understand yourself, and those people cannot be trusted, to say the least. Look at that shit. Can y'all see that? It's beautiful. I get so excited about these little things. But that's good. That's good to be excited about little things, you know? I have a really terrible toothpick habit. I can't help it. It's like, if people only realize that the way out is through creativity, the way out is by being weird and authentic and piss people off that way. You're not going to piss people off by saying the same stupid shit that everybody else is saying. And then you're just complaining. And that's not creative at all. Like the best way to be creative, or the best way to, I think James Murphy said this, like, the best way to complain is to make things. Like, it's really important that we continue to do that. Especially since it's such a threat. That should tell you something right there. If they're terrified of somebody that's authentic, if they're terrified of somebody just because they're being real, like, that's how pussified these people are. You know, they can't even handle you just being a real person and speaking from your heart. They can't even handle you just being cutthroat honest without crumbling like a little leaf. I mean, it's pathetic. These people are so pathetic. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, people are gonna get mad at me because of how much I swear, but they don't know. You say you have Terets or something. Yeah, I could say that. That's believable too, but it's a lie. So I couldn't say that because I wouldn't be able to get away with that. I'm a really terrible liar. It's written all over my face because I hate lying so very much because I know it's a sin. So because I know that it's a sin and because I know that it's wrong, it's like I'm skittish about it. Like, even when I was stealing shit all the time, like, I couldn't lie about it. I sucked at it. Like, this friend of mine sat me down and he asked me if I stealed his weed. I stealed his weed. I did steal his weed. I stealed it. I fucking stealed it because I was a socialist, and so I was proud of that. But no, I mean, I couldn't lie about it. It's like I tried, and then I just ended up breaking down because I was like, yeah, I totally took your fucking weed. But I'm not gonna blame drugs for that shit. You know? It's not
pot that, like, made me do that. That's the thing people don't understand. Like, when they quit an addiction, they quit doing this or doing that. They don't have to vilify that thing, because it's not that thing's fault that they got addicted to it. It's their own fault that they got addicted to it. It's their own mental stuff that they're not dealing with. Their own psychological problems. Their own childhood trauma. They're not accepting it. And because they can't accept it, they have to do all this other stuff that distracts them from who they are. And who they are is, I would say, a chain reaction to all the things that they've experienced that, you know, weren't positive, obviously. But I just don't like to blame alcohol and drugs for things, because I just think that's petty. There are plenty of people that do drugs, there are plenty of people that drink alcohol, and they don't fuck up their lives, and they don't steal shit from people, and they don't have premarital sex and promiscuous sex, whatever you want to call it, casual. They don't have casual sex, you know. There are plenty of people that drink and do drugs and don't, like, make it a thing. And so people that make it a thing, they have to make it seem like, oh, it's that thing that's negative. But no, it's you. It's you that's negative. You're still the same piece of shit. Oh, so you're sober. So you're clean. So you're still an asshole. Dude, I mean, I remember sitting in an AA meeting, and I never went back to this meeting after this shit happened. Like, there was this kid that he used to be in like the slow classes, the retard classes. Like, I know, because I remember him, like, in high school. And I hadn't seen him since high school. And then I saw him at this meeting. Or no, I seen him at a gas station, like, buying beer or some shit. But, like, yeah, we weren't friends or anything. But he was just slow. Like, I don't know what was up with him. He was just a slow motherfucker. Well, like, anyway, I watched this kid get yelled at. But I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it was 3 people. Yeah, it was 3 different people that yelled at him. And they must have had, like, maybe 75 years of sobriety between all of them. And they just fucking screamed at this kid. Because he wouldn't shut up. At a meeting, at an AA meeting. Like, this is a place where you go to get help, right? And then you get yelled at by 3 people that have at least 20 years of sobriety? Like, this is the way that we think sobriety. Yeah, this is very inspiring, you know? And everybody at that meeting was so uncomfortable. But it's like, there are several people that they think that, oh, I'm better. I'm better because I don't do this. Or I'm better because I go along with this thing or that thing. But, like, no, you're still a piece of shit. Like, you're still the same person that you were then. You just don't do that anymore. You know? They can talk about this psychic change all day, but it doesn't seem like they experience anything even remotely spiritual. So, I don't know. I just get annoyed with these people that think that they're better than other people. You know? Like, you have to be principled. You have to have standards. You have to have ethics and morals in order to be a decent person. Just because you say you believe in God, just because you say that you believe in Jesus and all that, it's like, that doesn't mean anything. That's just something you're saying. You can say, well, Amy swears all the time, so she doesn't believe in the word. I don't believe in the word, I try to live the word. I just love how defensive you are right now. This is funny as fuck. Yeah, dude. It's like, I feel like if I try to censor myself, it's like I'm already thinking those swear words. So if I don't say them out loud, then it's like, well, God heard it anyway. You know, that's how I look at it. It doesn't make sense to me. People that say, oh, you can't swear or whatever, it's like, who are you to police my language, first of all? Second, I understand that, you know, swearing all the time is annoying. And trust me, I get it. I'm very aware of it. It's just, you know, it's where I work. It's where I work, and, you know, it's what I do. If you know me, don't know anything new. What? I can't even do it. It's hard. You're going to get it right, though. I'm trying to do this Mac Miller impression. He's easy to do impression of because he's very authentic. I could do spot on Amy Winehouse. I don't want to sing the song Rehab because, like, the song Rehab is so annoying. Like, that song is nothing compared to, like, all of her other material, you know? They always choose the worst song to make her most popular hit. You know, have you noticed that shit? But they do it with everybody. Any actual artist, they're not going to showcase, like, how much art they're capable of producing. They're going to showcase their bullshit, their hits, their one hit, 2 hit, 3 hit wonders, whatever. But yeah, wait. I was thinking, what Amy Winehouse cover could I do? I'll be back.